Okay.
All right, thank you. Hello, Trish. Thank you for joining us. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the Live Fearlessly vlog today. I'm going to introduce our guest, Trish Springsteen. Thank you so much for joining us. Trish is a creative business consultant, a multi-international award-winning mentor, speaker, award-winning international best-selling author, web TV host with a passion to help you get known, to be seen and known for, oh, sorry, these are the titles, I'm sure. Help you get known, be seen, known for her love of Purple Trish, can be found mentoring and empowering introverts, authors, and advocates, helping them to have the confidence and self-belief to make it easy for their clients to find them. And don't you love purple to work with Trish? You don't have to love purple to work with Trish, but it does help. She understands that there are other colors in the spectrum. I love that you love purple, and clearly we can see that you love purple, Trish. So thank you so much for joining us. And I have to start with this question because it just says a lot about your dedication. So Trish, where are you located?
I live in Queensland in Australia.
Yes, and in the present time with us recording this, Trish, what time is it where you are?
Oh, it's a beautiful time. It's 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Don't I look absolutely brilliant for that time?
Yes, you guys, seriously, give Trish some love in the comments for being so passionate about bringing her message to you guys. She's up at 2 a.m. in the morning doing this recording for us right now. So I have to just be like, kudos to you. That's amazing. But also, Trish, I want you to go ahead and just start by sharing anything interesting about you that you want us to know that wasn't said in the bio, or that maybe I goofed up on that you want to rehash. Anything you want us to share to know about you that's interesting, or fun facts about Trish.
Oh, look, pretty much all you get is what you see. I could be termed to be a bit quirky.
Yeah.
I like to do things. I walk to a different beat of the drums sometimes. But probably one thing that you may not be aware of is that I'm actually very much an introvert. And that seems to surprise people because I've worked on that, and I get up there and I speak and I shine the light, and that's what my passion is. But I don't mind just being by myself, and that's where I recharge. And I read a lot. I have a library of 4,000 books, and that's not counting my Kindle books.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And we can see that you have some books next to you that looks like your face on there. So Trish, how many books have you yourself written?
I've been an author, contributing author, and a co-author to 17 books.
Nice.
Just recently got one that's come out, and I've got 3 more due this year.
Congratulations. Actually, that reminds me, I love to start out with celebration. So what can we celebrate with you today, Trish? What's good in your world?
Oh, what's good in my world? I think what's good in my world is that my book that I'm looking to come out, it's a compilation book that I'm working on, and it's very close. I've just received the last few chapters from some of my authors, and I'm really quite excited about it because it will be very, very powerful. It's called Forever Changed by Suicide. And the chapters that have been coming in are just so brilliant. So I'm quite excited to have that. It's been a little bit of a long compilation being put together because of the stories that people are sharing. It's taken a while for my authors to write their chapters because it's opening up a lot of things that they're sharing. But I love what I'm getting, and it's so powerful. So I'm so excited to be bringing that out shortly.
Wow, I mean, even just knowing that, I can only imagine like the emotional, like brilliant things that are coming through in their stories that it definitely will be powerful. Even just what I can see in the passion with you talking about it and the excitement that's coming from you. So that's really cool. So with your books and all of the compilations and the collaborations that you have going on, are they all under like being seen and known, or what is like your overarching like goal with everything that you do?
Well, a lot of a lot of the goal is being seen, being known, and that comes from the fact that when I see in my own experience that if you've got a message, if you've got a business, and I work a lot with authors because I see them really write their books and they take what's inside themselves and they write out that book and then they sit on the shelves and they sit in the boxes, and that beautiful story and those wonderful messages don't reach the people that need to hear it. And it's the same when I work with my people to get up and speak, to say, well, this is who I am. And they feel so much afraid of doing that, or they don't take advantage of the opportunities to go on video or to introduce themselves because they have that fear. And it is such a shame because they have so much to share with everybody, great messages, things that people need to hear. But because they close them off of that fear, or they close off of not knowing what to do, it doesn't get there. So that is my passion. It is because I know what it's like to be afraid to speak. I know what it's like to be an introvert. I know what it's like to think I don't have a message and that. And because I've walked that and I've seen what happens when, I call it taking 60 seconds of insane courage to just take a deep breath and say yes, or take a deep breath and say, here I am, I'm here for you. It's not easy, but I get such a thrill when I see people do it.
Oh, I love it so much. We relate on a lot of different levels. And you guys, I have to share with everyone that this is the first time Trish doesn't even know this, but this is the first time that I'm actually going right into an interview without having a one-on-one, like get to know someone. Trish is my first one that I'm like, I've wanted to do this. I was inspired by my new friend, Britt, who I went on her podcast and was just, this is what we did. We just started the conversation. And I'm very much like, I want to connect with everyone. So Trish, you're my first one that I'm like, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's just see what comes through in this. So I'm very excited to be able to learn with everyone that's watching about your story, Trish, and how fear held you back at one point in your life from living your life fully. And as you mentioned, you have, you know, these experiences that you are open and sharing and helping people really walk through those fears and overcome them and see, you know, how we can be growing from these experiences in our own lives. So Trish, I'm going to turn it over to you to just start wherever you want in your story and tell us more about that time in your life.
Awesome. Absolutely. We could be here for a while, you know, Rebecca, but I will try and keep it within some time limits. I think there are about, I'll talk about three instances in my life very shortly. Firstly, anybody who knows me when I left school, and that's way back in the Jurassic period because it was quite a long while ago, would be really amazed that I do what I do now, because at that stage, not only was I an introvert, but I was very much a shy introvert. And I really didn't want to get up and speak with people. I didn't like to interact with people. So my whole business life from the time I left high school was great business, but I would like to be behind the scenes. And if anybody wanted me to get up, I would find some excuses. Now, I did pretty well in my life, but there was always this thought that there was more that I could do, and I didn't know. So my first one was realizing that I needed to go and find some people, and I needed to do a bit more of my life. And that came from, I used to live in Canberra, which is our capital city. We moved up to Queensland, and I didn't have any friends, too busy working, too busy with my kids, too busy studying. So I came to a time, I said to one of my people I knew, I need to make some friends. What can I do? I've got to do something. And he said, oh, look, come along to this club and you'll get to make some friends. I thought, okay, I can do that. I can come along, sneak in the back door, sit there, get to know people, and just slowly get to know, which is what I used to do. He didn't tell me that it was a Toastmasters club. He didn't tell me that I had to get up and introduce myself. And he didn't tell me that people wanted you to speak. Yeah. So that was like, wow, I froze. I think I
That's
said
the
about
trifecta right there. Let's just jump in feet first, Trish. That's how easy.
And so I thought, the thing is, I went back and I went back. And I don't know why, but the outcome is I joined. And that was 26 years ago. And probably one of the best things I did at that time, because that I got a lot of mentoring. I got a lot of good, and I made a lot of friends, lifelong friends. So I did get the friend bit. But what I did get out of that was a confidence in myself to speak. And that helped me to open my business. It helped me to get where I am now. It helped me through a time in my life where we lost our son, Craig, to suicide in 2007.
Wow.
And that was probably a very traumatic time. And I had to do the eulogy at his funeral. You don't get a second chance. And I wanted to do due testament. And it's really to my speaking skills and being able to harness that emotion. And I didn't realize that until a few months after I was processing everything. And I realized that that was how I got through it, which has now played an important part on why I share with people and why I'm so passionate about speaking and communication. Because when you've got that, it really does give you that confidence. So that was sort of my fear of speaking. Fear of opening my own business. Boy, oh boy, that's a pretty big one. When it was like I eased into that. I had a business partner at the time, and we got the business open, but I was working full time at the time. So it was like, it's okay. If things don't work in the business, I've got my full-time job. So, you know.
It was a good safety net.
Yeah, it was really good until they changed my business requirements around, and I had to make a decision: stay working or continue with my business. That was a big fear factor there, because wow, I was going to take away that safety net. And basically at that time, my husband wasn't working. I was the sole breadwinner. So I thought, I love what I'm doing. I love, we're doing a lot of corporate training at that time, and we'd been doing some really good workshops and things were going. I thought, business is doing well. Okay, big breath. I'll leave my work, leave the career, and it was, pretty good paying job. Leave that and just go full on the business. 4 weeks after that, global financial crisis hit. All the work dried up, no business. And I'm sitting there, and I talk about fear and living through fear. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, wow, what did I do? Where am I going to go? And how are we going to do this? So that was really 60 seconds of insane courage.
Right.
To just step back and change what we're doing and
ride that wave. Wow.
Absolutely. And then I guess my next fear was about 4 years ago. Change what we're doing. We went more mentoring. My business partner and I split amicably because she wanted to go down a different direction. And so about 4 years ago, I found myself having to do a lot of writing. I did the blogs and that, and we'd had a great blog. But I always thought myself, I'd worked hard to be a speaker. So I thought, yeah, I'd speak. And I'm a people person, which sounds a bit funny, but I am, because I listen a lot. And then I got asked to contribute a chapter for a book in America. And my first reaction was no. I had this fear and this mindset block. I couldn't write. And I thought, I don't have a message to share to people. Why would I went through all this speaking. I got over that, but I still had this fear that if I'm going to write and people see it, it's not going to happen. Then I realized, I got asked again. I said no, but they came back and asked me again. And then I realized, you know what, Trish, you got to walk your talk. You share things with people. You help them get up. And you're sitting here saying, no, no, no. So I thought, it's okay. It's a book in America. It's just one chapter, and nobody in Australia is going to read it. So it doesn't matter if it's freaking awesome or terribly bad. It won't matter. Well, people in Australia actually read it. I thought, oh gosh. And people liked it. And that was about 4 or 5 years ago. And since then,
okay.
As I said, I've got 17 books, and 15 of those have been done in the last 5 years.
Wow.
So it's why one of
60
my
seconds of insane courage, people. You
that's what it is.
you see what that does?
That is
That's
exactly it.
amazing.
That's what happens when you take that, and I say 60 seconds of insane courage, 20 seconds to listen to your mindset, which says, no, no, you can't do it, and say, be quiet and shut up, I'm going to do it. 20 seconds to take that deep breath in and go, yes, I'm awesome, I can do this. And 20 seconds to say yes and grab the opportunity that comes and see the amazing things that happen. And that's
awesome.
how I rule my life now, because that is what's happened when I've stepped up. And it's not easy, people. Fear is just there. And am I unafraid? No. I get nervous and I fear new things. I think, am I going to do this podcast? Wow. Yeah. What am I going to do? What am I going to say? Take a deep breath and do it, because honestly, awesome things happen. And I said yes to an online summit and did that summit, and I had fun speaking. And from that summit, it led to being asked to contribute a chapter in a book. Now, this was 23 people from really global, India, Switzerland, Canada, America, Australia, Jamaica. Wow. From that concept, and this is what I think is amazing about stepping up and being seen and seeing where it goes. From that book, it was concept to getting the book up for pre-sales on Kindle, 2.5 weeks. Now that is freaking awesome. And what 23 focused women can achieve when they are focused on a goal and everybody works together and everybody adds in their skills and strategies. But that came from saying yes to an opportunity, and from living what I do now. Is everything is about, if I want people to be able to know who I am, I've got to stand up and do it. And it's not about me. It is not about me. And that's the one thing I love people to realize. It's never about you. What it is the fact that sometime down the track, someone might pick up one of my books in 40 years time, 30 years time. I'm leaving a legacy in that. But more importantly, someone might pick up one of my books, or someone might see me on an online summit, or come to one of my workshops, or hear me speak. And it could just be one word, a sentence, or a paragraph that I say that resonates with them, that could change their life or change their thinking. So how can I be selfish and let fear stop me from doing that? I can't.
Yes.
I can't do that.
I love that. Oh my gosh, we relate in that so much, Trish. So I have to say this, because we don't know each other yet. The Live Fearlessly vlog, I call it Live Fearlessly because exactly what you just said. I like to point out, it's not that living fearlessly means we don't have our fears. We absolutely have our fears every single day. And you even said, it's just there. And I really look at fear as my best friend. I look at it as it sits here with me every day, and I get to decide, is this relationship a toxic one right now? Or is it a benefit to me, and how I'm going to move forward in inspired action with what the fears are showing me is up to me. And that's how we live fearlessly. That 60 seconds that you're talking about is exactly the thought process that I move through. And I'm like, okay, I have goosebumps about how you're talking about saying yes to something that you're like, I don't know what's going to come from this. I don't really know, but you were drawn to say yes. You weren't courageous enough to say yes to that one thing that leads to the next, that leads to the next, that leads to the next connection, because it is momentum. It is showing the universe that you're open to making the moves to keep moving instead of staying stagnant in the fear of the unknown and what it could be, what it can be. And we get stuck in the negative what ifs. Well, what if nobody reads it? What if it doesn't matter? Well, what if it does? What if your country pays attention to what you have to say? And people start noticing that your heart, your passion, and what you're bringing to the world is exactly what and who they need.
Absolutely. Look, this is where we are now. Yeah. I said yes to an online interview in an online summit with Jen Jones, and you, and now we're speaking, and I'm touching maybe people who sit and watch this, who I would probably never have thought I could do that, would never have been there if I hadn't said yes to that first thing. So people, fear stops you from being amazing. Fear stops you from being awesome, but it stops you from reaching people who you may never reach. And it's not easy. It's like Rebecca says, it's not easy, but wow, when you do it, wow.
Yeah. The relationships that you build along the way of stepping into that 60 seconds is priceless. It's like you were mentioning, you know, one person, there's going to be one person on here that your message reaches, or anything that we say is like, oh, okay, this woman is on here at 2:30 in the morning and I'm giving myself excuses as why I can't go to this event because the timing's just not right, not perfect, or because I'm in a different country, or, you know, whatever the case is, I can't color my hair purple and red. Well, apparently you can. Look at Trish. We can do whatever we want. We can decide how we want to live our lives, and we can think about it in a fearless way to know that, you know, we have the decision to be seen, to be heard, and to be known. And, you know, our world will go without if we don't step up and have that just little bit of courage to see where it goes and be open to the possibilities that are presented to us in those crazy seconds that we have the opportunity to say yes to things that we might normally say no to.
Absolutely. And is it always going to work out? No, people, it's not.
Yep.
Things not always work out. Some things won't work, some things won't change. But the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work.
And you get a lesson.
The best thing is that something happens. And you'll never know that unless you just do it. Now, is that easy? Nope. Was I always like that? Nope. It took me quite a few years to get like that. But once you do, I mean, I've been told that because I like to color my hair purple, I love purple. And I am who you see on a video, who you see on my Facebook pages and my social media, who you see when you meet me is exactly the same. And that is one of the things that I've always, when I'm mentoring my people, is you have to be genuine, because that's what people will connect with. They will soon find out if you're not. And I was told that because I'm vertically challenged, I'm not very tall, and you know, well,
I call that fun-sized, Trish. I say fun-sized.
That's okay. But I was told that because I was that, and I had purple hair, one speaking agency told me, we can't get you any speaking gigs, Trish. Corporate people don't want you because you're too colorful and you're just not there. And I just looked at them and I said, well, what do you want me to do? I said, I'll change who you are. And I said, how can I do that? I stand up and talk in my keynotes. I talk about being genuine. I talk about owning who you are. And you want me to change who I am? I said, no. I said, if these people don't want me, well, that's their bad luck. And really, they're the people I should be speaking to, because if they can't look behind purple hair and see the genius and awesomeness I am, then they really need some help. So I own who I am. Do I get, maybe that stops me from getting things, but the people who need to get me, and I speak with them and they love me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. Literally what you just said is exactly like how I've walked through my life of, I'm great. And if someone has a problem with me, then they're going to miss out on a really awesome friend or mentor or whatever it is. But that's okay, because we aren't meant to be for everyone. And our people are looking for us and we are looking for them. And being too loud, being too colorful, being too whatever isn't a real thing. We're just not the right people for them, or they're not for us. And we don't want to be for everyone, guys. We want to be specific and find our people. So authenticity, yes, totally agree with you, Trish. You have to be authentic in everything that you're doing to bring through exactly who your world needs and who you need in your world, right? We need each other, and walking in that boldness. So the question I would love to like wrap this up with, Trish, is like, because you have the tools, you have the experience to know this is how we get to the next level self. This is how we show up for our world. Where do you see yourself 5 years from today, which I know in this pandemic and everything that's going on, it's like, how the heck can anyone know what's even possible? But I love the thought process of just dreaming and putting it out there. And who knows, maybe in a year from today, your 5 year is already done. But I love the thought process of being a visionary and putting it out there. So what would you like to share with us about your thoughts on 5 years from today? Where will Trish be? What will you be up to?
Trish will be doing lots of things online. Actually, one of the things that I really like to see myself 5 years from, and probably a lot closer, but depending, given all these interesting times we're in, is coming to America and speaking. I would like to see myself coming around. My daughter actually lives in America, in Orange County. And that is one of the things that is on my list to achieve, is to come and be paid to speak in America and do some paid speaking, some free speaking, and connect over there. But my vision for 5 years is to be still touching people. I want to be here. I want to be able to share my message, and I want to leave a legacy. It's why I write. It's why I step up. It's why I overcome my fear of speaking all the time, being an introvert. Is it easy walking into rooms? No, it's not. And it still isn't easy walking into rooms or meeting new people. It's not the easiest thing I do, but I show up. And that's what I'll be doing in 5 years' time, sharing my message and leaving a legacy with people, because I don't know who I touch, but that doesn't matter, because I know that I'm touching someone.
Yes. Oh, I love it so much. Show up. That's the message I got from that. Show up, people. Be yourself, show up authentically, and, be open to what is for you. So Trish, where is the best place for the viewers to come connect with you?
Best place? Okay, you can go to my website, which is trishspringsteen.com, which is actually just above there.
I love it.
You can find me on Facebook. Just put Trish Springsteen, look for the purple lady, and you'll find me. And I'm on LinkedIn as well. So I'm open to it. Send me a friend request. Let's have a conversation. Love to meet people.
I love it. I love it. And before I go, I wanted to actually ask you, is there a meaning behind the color purple?
Is there a meaning behind the color purple? Look, if you talk to any spiritual people, they'll tell you that purple is a really awesome color. It's confidence, it's spirituality, it's connecting, and I just freaking love it. And it's royalty. Hey, come on.
Yes, I love it. I love it. This is so amazing. So everyone that's watching, anything that Trisha said that you're like, oh, yes, and that resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Reach out to Trish, connect with her, go check out her books. She clearly has a lot going on that's amazing, and just reach out and connect. That's what we're here for. And Trish, seriously, thank you so much for spending this time with me and being up in the wee hours of the night and the morning for you, and for your time zone. And just totally appreciate you. And I'm grateful for this connection, and really looking forward to championing you and leading in your speaking and getting you over to the US to come speak. That sounds amazing. I'm totally grateful for your time.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there. And my utmost pleasure. I absolutely have adored speaking with you, Rebecca. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone that's watching. Remember to love yourself and live fearlessly. Have a great day.
Bye.